Welcome everyone to the Shire of Moora Council meeting, ordinary council meeting for the 19th of March, commencing at 5:30 p.m. Thank you everyone for coming. I declare the meeting open. Just a reminder that the disclaimer is such that no responsibility whatsoever is implied or accepted by the Shire of Moora for any act, omission or statement or intimation occurring during council meetings. It is strongly advised that persons do not act on what is heard at this meeting and should only rely on written confirmation of council's decision, which will be provided within 14 days of this meeting. All formal council meetings will be recorded, as they are this evening, and publicly available on the Shire of Moora website. Attendance, apologies, approved leaves of absence? None. Response to previous public questions taken on notice? There are none. There is no one from the public. I would like to note that Dudley from Woodside, the Watheroo farm manager, did come in to have a chat with regard to their development application. Petitions, deputations, presentations?
Nil.
Applications for leave of absence?
Nil.
And announcements by the presiding members. Councillor Gilbert, would you like to kick us off, please?
Yep. On the 24th of the 2nd, I attended the Sport and Recreation meeting with stakeholders and Amy Watts from the Shire.
Thank you. Councillor Bryan?
Nothing to report.
Councillor Errington?
24th of the 2nd Sport and Rec meeting and 8th, I think, the CRC meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Duggan?
None.
None. None.
Yes, March the 17th, just Monday just gone, I represented Councillor Gilbert, who was on holidays overseas, at the Regional Road Group in Moora.
Thank you. And myself, on the 16th of Feb, I had a meeting with Gavin Robbins, re-aged care in Moora. 16th of March, represented the Shire of Moora at the Moora Triathlon. 18th of March, a webinar on navigating community engagement in wind energy. And then just this afternoon, a meeting with the Public Review Board for high schools at Central Midlands Senior High School. Confirmation of minutes from the ordinary council meeting of the 19th of February. Could I have a mover, please, that the minutes of the ordinary meeting of council held on the 19th of Feb be confirmed as a true and correct record of the meeting? Thank you, Councillor Gilbert, and seconder, Councillor Bryan. Do you wish to speak for or against? Or does anyone wish to speak against? All those in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Item 9 is reports of officers. 9.1.1 under governance and corporate services is the list of payments authorised under delegation 1.15. This author of this report is our CEO, Mr. Gavin Robbins. I will assume the report is read, but ask the author if there's anything to note in particular.
I haven't got anything to highlight in regard to these payments, Madam President. I know some questions have been asked and I've answered those. I'm not too sure whether there are any others that have been any other questions that are pending, but otherwise I recommend that Council accept this list of payments.
Thank you. And thank you to Councillor Errington for her questions on notice via email. Councillor Errington, did you have anything further to ask?
Just on the payments on the 7th of the 2nd, 17th of the 2nd for Patterson MKA, I think it was MK Electrical. Just maybe a little bit more information on what those payments were actually for.
So what's the amount? And
well, Patterson's was 5,500, but it doesn't sort of specifically state what he.
Well, I'd need to look at the invoice to see what specifically he's billed, but those payments were in respect of the Shire's presentation of a claim for funding under the Commonwealth Government's Regional Partnerships and Presence Program. Pardon me. And that submission required detailed evidence that we had costed various elements of the project. And unlike other grant applications, it was highly detailed in respect of schedules of work and also the timing of works for each trade and each function that was to be delivered under the project. And we didn't have that detail because we hadn't gone to that depth with regard to sport and rec plans. And so it's basically work outside of the plans as they've been developed, and the need to boot to the need for them to be developed to that stage at that time. So we then had to contract Pattersons to do some extra work to give us more detail to be able to support the claims that we made in respect to that application. I can get detail for you.
No, that's fine. It's just schematic design and things like that don't mean a lot in the big scheme.
Not illustrated.
Things. Yeah.
No, thank you. Did you have anything to add, Jason?
I just have that open here, and it's related to the development of strategy, as Gavin was saying. So, I don't know if you want to-
Yeah, no, we've got
Yeah.
that.
Thanks so much, Stacey. Councillor Seymour.
Just a small one, EFT 32993, 2 new tyres for a Ford Ranger, $1,117. There may have been extras.
Couldn't tell you about
Just a,
inquiry.
if it was a wheel alignment in there as well or something, that's fine, but otherwise it's very expensive, 2 tyres.
So often what tends to happen is that you just get the first item included in a bigger invoice.
I think the other problem is that detail is probably quite inconclusive because there is only a limited number of characters we can put into the description.
Yeah.
So we can't write the full detail of the invoice.
If there's no further questions, could I have someone move the officer recommendation that council notes and endorses the payments from the municipal and trust funds made under delegation 1.15. Thank you, Councillor Errington. And a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Gilbert. Do you wish to speak for or against? Councillor Gilbert? All those in favour? Thank you. Passed unanimously. 9.1.2 Statement of Financial Activity for the period ended 31st of Jan. The author is Mr. Travis Bate from RSM Australia. He is not here, but I will ask our CEO before we go to the officer recommendation if he has anything to comment.
I think the comment I would make in respect to these accounts is that, as was discussed in the mid-year budget review, we've got greater certainty around these financial figures now and much more comfort in respect of the cost allocations and the attribution of income over a range of projects that we didn't formally have. Jaycee might have a comment she'd like to make, but I have much more faith in our financial reports now than I did even 6 months ago. And I don't think there is anything in these reports that indicates to me that there is anything about which council either needs to be concerned or advised at this stage.
Thank you. Jaycee, is there anything you'd like to add? Thank you. The officer recommendation is that council endorses the statement of financial activity for the period ended 31st of Jan. If there's no questions from around the table, may I have a mover for that officer recommendation, please? Councillor Bryan, thank you. And a seconder? Councillor Errington, thank you very much. Councillor Bryan.
For.
Does anyone wish to speak against? All those in favour? Thank you. 9.1.3 is the 24-25 budget review. Again, the author is Mr. Travis Bate from RSM Australia. Keeping in mind we've had quite extensive interrogation of this already in our briefing session. And thank you to Jaycee and to Gavin and to Travis for the power of work that they've put into this document. Mr. CEO, is there anything you would like to particularly draw our attention to?
Other than nothing at this stage, we've already had that conversation. I think we canvassed it pretty well. Not that I have any other details that need to be reported.
Wonderful. Councillor Gilbert.
Yeah, Madam Chair, just regarding the War Memorial restoration increase 60,000, is that going to be refunded through a grant? Is that?
We've actually carried that work out through a grant from Veterans Affairs.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's already been taken into account, is it?
It has, yes.
Right. Okay. That's all. No problems.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. If there are none, I will read the recommendation for the purpose of the recording. Recommendations that council approve the budget review for the period ended 31st of December carried out in accordance with the Local Government Financial Management Regulations 1995 section 33A. 2, amend the 24-25 budget as outlined in the 24-25 budget review. And 3, forward a copy of the budget review to the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries within 30 days of endorsement. Could I have a mover for that somewhat lengthy recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Errington. Seconder, Councillor Clydesdale-Gilbert. Councillor Errington.
Cool.
Councillor Clydesdale-Gilbert. Does anyone wish to speak against? All those in favour? Thank you. 9.2, there are no reports from Development Services. 9.3, no reports from Engineering Services. 10, reports of committees. The General Purpose Committee meeting from the 5th of March 2025. Is there anything to report from that, Mr. CEO?
At that meeting, there was a reference to the proposal that we amend our banking arrangements and the reference to potentially an expression of some form of interest by Westpac. We did approach Westpac to see if the company wanted to provide some additional information in respect of our banking arrangements. They said yes. They finally got a document to us overnight, and I'm recommending that we roll this item over or leave it lie on the table until next council meeting to give us an opportunity to make a comparison with regard to other submissions received in respect of our banking arrangements.
Wonderful. So I need to ask for someone to move to lay this recommendation on the table. Thank you, Councillor Seymour. And second, Councillor Duggan. Do you wish to speak for or against laying this on the table?
For, I think it's wise to lay it on the table at this stage.
Fantastic. Does anyone wish to speak against? All those in favour of laying this on the table? Thank you. Updating of Shire reservation booking system. This is fairly straightforward and something that's had some discussion already. Mr. CEO, is there anything you wish to highlight?
No, nothing has changed in respect of this discussion. The status is still as it was a couple of weeks ago when we included the last of our information in the paper, and I recommend council endorse the purchase or the replacement of our existing booking system with the Space to Go system, and do so on the 1st of July 2025. And that we include that funding in the budget for that period.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Councillor Errington, you'd like to move the committee recommendation. I love the enthusiasm. So I'll just quickly read it out for the record. That the Shire of Moora replace the present reservation booking and management system with the Space to Go reservation system, and that an appropriation for this upgrade be made in the 2025-26 draft budget. Thank you, Councillor Errington. Does anyone wish to second the officer recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Gilbert. Do you wish to speak for or against? Councillor Gilbert?
For.
Does anyone wish to speak against? All those in favour? Thank you. Item 11 is elected member motions, of which previous notice has been given, which is nil. Item 12 is new business of an urgent nature. Nil. Matters for which the meeting may be closed.
Nil.
And closure of the meeting at 5:43 p.m. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance.